What's up, guys? This is Chris, Bonafide Hustler, coming to you live from my driveway this time, not my garage. I'm going to show you a classic hustling example of how to take 40 bucks and turn it into like $400 or $500, maybe even more. Alright, so today, well, let me preface this story with today we actually went to it's kind of like a pick, a garage sale, estate sale, something like that. And we found really cool old stuff. So today's video is going to be about old vintage things and the kind of stuff that sells, especially in like my antique booth. But you can move these things in other different channels like Craigslist, and maybe some stuff goes on eBay, the smaller things. But let's talk about what a $140 hustling pile looks like, uncleaned and before it goes out to market. Okay, so here's a part of the pile today, fresh out of the truck. We're looking at things like a clock right here without the housing. And this has got a market value of about 30-40 bucks, and probably when you plug it in, it probably works. Okay, so yeah, this is really cool, one of a kind, and someone's going to figure out what to do with this thing really quickly. Then we have things like these Westinghouse electric gauges. This is really cool things, and you know, this can go on a coffee table like this with maybe some felt underneath, or it can go like this with like a lamp on top, right? So all you got to do is just find it for its cool factor, and someone else will figure out what they want to use it for. Market value on this, 30 to 50 bucks easily, and there's like 4 of these things in that pick. And pay attention to the box that it came in, right? You know, whenever I bundle stuff at a really cool old place, I always try to get an old box with everything that I buy. So this old box right here has a neat little logo right here. Market value maybe 30, 40 bucks when it's cleaned up. Now we got things such as this tin, and this tin, I don't know if it's used for like baking stuff or if it was like a factory or anything, but you know, paint's peeling. It's definitely a project piece for somebody, and it looks pretty cool. Market value 30-40 bucks pretty quickly. And over here we got like a toolbox, or things with tools in it. I'm going to show you a classic example of a tobacco can that was in the box. This tobacco can right here is uncleaned, and it does look pretty cool, but I'll show you a clean version of a tobacco can here in a second. This right here, when it's cleaned up and looking nice, 20 to 40 bucks all day long. Alright, so I use my little bundling tactics, kind of like the previous video where I talked about the fishing lures, and I just said, you know, how much for everything in that little pile? I'll take it all, I'll just sort it out when I get home. Of course, I got a really good deal on this, and iron ashtray, things like Cardinal lighter fluid can, really neat. A 1940s police car, looks like side light, so the control goes back here, and this light right here is what, you know, they would shine on culprits and bust crime with, right? Pretty neat. And then always try to bundle this stuff into a box. An old Crane Company Chicago box. This right here, market value 30-40 bucks all day long. Alright, so you can start seeing how all this money is starting to add up really quickly. Okay, let's go over here to this. It's called an acid drip. This right here, I guess went on the side of a chemical building or plant or whatever, and it's really cool. It has been cleaned. We actually cleaned this one up and the one after this, and it's just really nice. It's really heavy, and market value for this 30 to 50 bucks all day long. We have another one similar to it. I don't think this is really used for the acid thing, but this is a ceramic downpipe in really good condition. Well, I mean, it looked pretty poor before, but my girlfriend cleaned it up, and it looks really nice. If you can see that patina right there, that's awesome looking, right? It's beautiful. Market value 20-40 maybe. And then we got stuff like this 1940s. I don't think it's like a headlight, maybe for a truck or a car. Really nice, you know. Retrofitted with like 120 volt inside there. But what's interesting is, like, you know, why would anyone buy this? Because you can make a lamp out of it one day. Someone, you know, some little crazy dude's probably bored and wants to make a lamp out of something. This is like the perfect piece for him. So this right here, market value substantially higher, maybe like $40 to $100. Probably closer to that 100 bucks though. Alright, so I promised you guys I'd show you what a tobacco can looks like that's been cleaned up. And this has been cleaned up for about a minute, but you can see it's starting to look really good. And if we spend a little bit more time, we can get out this little surface rust out of here and turn this $10 maybe velvet tobacco thing into, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks. Really nice looking can. Alright, so more stuff that we got today. A vintage 1930s or 1940s ice crusher. And you put the ice in there, crushes it all around. It's pretty cool. And this is like Bakelite, which was like their version of plastic back in the day. This is really neat stuff, and market value anywhere between 30, 50 bucks, you know, something like that. Really cool. And then we got a wire basket full of chains. You'd be thinking, like, why would anyone want to buy chains? Because chains mean projects to people. People can do all kinds of stuff with old chains, especially chains that you can't find anymore. And this is a classic example of like old school chains. So this entire thing, you know, once it's all pieced out and tagged just right, this is probably going to sell for like 80 to 100 bucks really quickly. And then we got stuff like a gas handle, which is really neat. You know, I don't have to really even talk about how cool this is. It's just neat. Someone's going to like this thing. I already think it's pretty cool, but I'm not keeping it. Alright, let's talk about what's in this box. And this box, for one, says DuPont on the front of it, and it says high explosives, dangerous. So who knows what was in this thing? Maybe who knows? But something obviously you're not supposed to get close with fire to. Inside, we have more of those Westinghouse electric meters. Oh, cool things like pulleys, gauges, little oil drip can thing. So once that's all cleaned up, this is really cool, like the industrial gauge kind of stuff that people are looking for. And market value really unknown at this point, because, I mean, I'm thinking this entire box is somewhere between 100 and 200 bucks, like all day long. Alright, so when I'm not dealing with like super old stuff, you know, I try to bundle whatever looks cool and whatever has a good market value. And these are old 1991 swatches in their cases. And they're cool. Even though they're not the oldest swatches, they still got market values of anywhere between 40 and like 120. It really depends, because these are all like collector's items, and you know, if that dude's out there that doesn't have this particular watch, well, guess what? I got the watch, and you'll probably find these on eBay one day. Okay, on to something else that's really cool, and I don't really even have to discuss how cool this is, because this is an old parking meter from back in the day with the violation sign still up. So it looks like this guy either got his car towed or didn't pay his meter, but it looks pretty cool. You know, there's so many things you can do with this. This is like interesting stuff, like Pee-wee's Playhouse cool, like really neat. And then we got, of course, from video one, you know, I'm kind of like a whore for pearl snap shirts, so a freaking bag full of pearl snap shirts right there, ready to go to market. And then we got a bag of looks like a London, this one right here is a vintage London fog that we haven't cleaned yet, and then this one right here is a members only jacket right there. Don't really need to take these out, but you know, get on Google Images and see what a members only jacket looks like. It's totally cool, totally retro, and everybody wants them. So I don't know, market value on this between 40 and 80 bucks. Okay, and then the very last thing I want to show you guys today is like a window that we're cleaning, and it's an old window. So if we go over here, you kind of see what we're looking at. It's an old window right there, and it's being cleaned, and it has chipping paint. But something like this in an antique booth or an antique mall is going to sell for about 100 bucks. You know, $100 for a window. Someone wants this hanging in their house somewhere. Okay, so you can kind of see how $40 risked out of my $140 investment today could easily turn into $400 to $500 all day long. Okay, and I encourage you guys to hustle, because these things are all over the place in every hometown. And if you do like these videos, thumbs up my stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later. Alright?